Everybody, welcome back. It's Business, doing episode 47 of Ships and Giggles, and yeah, I got some fun stuff to go over this time around in terms of the matches, because holy shit, man. So unfortunately, Blue just got killed there, and as you can see, I'm pretty much alone over here. I had been much further back than he was, and he kind of got stuck in that position, and I tried to come back to save him. At least take some of the heat off of him, and that didn't work, so they just kept focusing him. He landed some big hits on that Azumo, and then, you know, the Azumo was wiped out by, like, the Sashio, or, yeah, whatever the hell. I can't really see it. It's the Sashio. So, anyways, I've been shooting all my damage so far, I think, has actually been against this Alaska over here, and it's, you know, been a few minutes into the match, and I just keep shooting him because nobody else is really presenting enough of the target for me to reliably hit and damage and all that stuff. So I'm just going to see if I can, you know, kind of force this issue by continuing to shoot at him and see if anybody opens up, gets complacent with the idea that I'm only focusing this guy. Well, unfortunately, this player has taken exception to that. And I'm not focusing you because of that, really. It's just because nobody else is showing an option for me to really shoot at. So if that were the case, if that GK was, you know, going broadside earlier, yeah, sure, that's awesome. But I'm here to make this Conqueror's life a living hell, and I don't care what happens at this point. We are holding these guys off over here. By we, I mean Blue's dead Yamato, and now my soon-to-be dead Kremlin. So, and if we can take one of these guys out, that was a bit of a misplay there. I could have just shot. I could have shot there without having to pull the, you know, the turret back. So, I got lucky with that one. Kind of surprised he didn't kill me. That would have been really disappointing. But regardless, 75k salvo, and here we are in another shitty situation. This match was pretty much over before I got to this point, anyways. For a few reasons I won't go into, but I really expected the Henry to start unloading on me with AP as he went by. I mean, it seemed obvious enough, but then got a nice gift-wrapped present here in the way of a broadside Yamato at only a few kilometers. Unfortunately, not enough. So, 88.8k, which is my third largest single salvo to date. You know that guy is wearing some brown pants right now, so thought that was hilarious. But yeah, that match was just, God, it sucked. But I've been playing the Henry a fair bit more, and I really don't like playing this ship. I don't like playing against it, I'll say that much, but I really don't like playing the ship in the way that I think it's generally played, because I think this is a phenomenal ship if you can get into a closer range situation against you know, enemy cruisers or battleships. You know, geez, what you can do to, like, the broadside of a Yamato or Montana or really any battleship at under 10 kilometers is amazing, and actually even slightly beyond that. But seeing if I can knock out his turrets here, I do disable one of them, but that's not the same thing as destroying it, which would have been nice to be able to do that, of course. So I'm going to continue trying to take a shot there. He's obviously running the legendary module, and it looks like his... Actually, I couldn't really tell if it was his A or B turret that was knocked out, but it doesn't really matter now. He's got my side, but I've got his. But yeah, feels good to brawl with this. It's so dangerous, man. And these guys played really well, and this guy gets it. Yeah, praise that horn, baby. But yeah, they moved with me up through the sea cap, and we just bullied everybody, and that was pretty awesome. But the Henry, I do intend to have some more footage of that, just because I know I'm going to get into some crazy ass situations with it over the next month or so, and see if I can have some awesome stuff, because I mean it's really an easy ship to play, and it's a ship that just by virtue of the shell caliber and the you know, having IFHE on there, the HE alpha, I mean, hell, the pen values on the AP, this ship is nuts, and it has a variety of consumables, including, of course, main battery reload booster, which makes it even more of a threat when you get closer up, let alone when somebody hits DCP and then, you know, they're sitting out there in the open and you're able to get multiple fires on them within, you know, next 10, 15, 20 seconds. But it's just such a dangerous ship in any situation, but I very rarely see people brawl with it, and I mean, it's not for reasons other than it's really not designed that way, but it's still very capable in a brawling situation. And I'll say, like, running this with the speed boost on, you know, with the extended speed boost as well, is pretty damn awesome. You definitely get used to that speed pretty quickly, of course, but switching over to AP since he's broadside, might as well take the shot. And watch these shells, and doink, Citadel. That's fun. But yeah, this ship is capable of citadeling the hell out of the, I mean, geez, obviously the Montana, the Yamato, the Musashi, anything under tier 10, but the Kremlin, if oh man, I won't mention who it was, but I did take down another community contributor coming around his side with the Henry while he was in the Kremlin on North, and man, that was hilarious. So I wish I recorded that, but for the sake of his reputation, I won't record that. Anyhow, the Lenin, of course, pretty much my go-to battleship at the moment. I'm sure that'll change because I have played it a lot, and when you play a ship enough, especially and particularly a battleship, that's great dispersion, my goodness. So yay, and we get the extra reserve for the consumables, so that's nice. And always something that on this ship you gotta try to get, because my god, if you're not running Kuznetsov on this ship, you know, it has the lowest health that you can heal back for a tier 8 battleship, so that's always something you want to try to give yourself a little bit more room to breathe by running Kuznetsov on it. And yes, I do absolutely think he's worth 175,000 coal. Do I think they should even have this particular captain in the game? No, I do not, and that's part of the problem with Sansonetti and Lucian's, who's coming up. We can't test them, and that's all internal testing. There's no achievements that we get when we're playing a you know, a test account or something like that. And there's no real way, I guess, for us, at least in the time as the game currently stands, we just can't do that. And I think that's a bit of an oversight, because these captains are really powerful. And god, that was a shitty shot, but c'est la vie, man. That's battleship life for you. But I really think that the upcoming German captain's going to be pretty damn awesome, and I do think that the bonus there for the battleships, the German battleship ellipse, being switched over to the British and American battleship ellipse. If you haven't heard about that, you know, just look up the 8.11 patch notes. So yeah, there's some big changes coming up to the German battleships. I'm very curious to see how something like the Scharnhorst and especially the Gneisenau behave, because the Gneisenau does actually have, on an average, pretty good dispersion. The problem is, and those shells fell too short, the problem with it is that it only has the 6 shells to throw. So when you only have that much broadside weight, even if you do roll decent dispersion, it's often not going to be good, because you don't have 2 extra shells to maybe, you know, move that in towards being slightly better. You don't have the shell volume to make up for the dispersion one way or another. So when you do get really good dispersion on that, if you don't have that exact situation where you can do big damage, it really hurts that ship. Because bye, Nethercat. Poor bastard. So so what I'm saying is essentially that the more you have these shots where, say it's in this situation where you get perfect dispersion, but it's a really low likelihood of actually hitting the target or doing significant damage, you'll often get like great dispersion on a shot like that, but when they're broadside, you get the worst dispersion, and that is super frustrating. And that's one of the things that hopefully it can kind of take the extremes out of the situation with the Gneisenau and make that a lot more playable, because I really do enjoy that ship when it behaves. And by that, you know, again, it's a battleship. When it behaves is completely not up to you. You have no control over it, of course, but it is a pretty spectacular ship when you get within like 10 kilometers of somebody. And I've had some amazing shots, you know, at range with it, and you know, I've been hit by some amazing shots at range from it. And you know, it's a battleship. You never know what to expect. But, speaking of which, the Odin. I know a lot of people are like excited about that one. I don't know what to say about that and the other work in progress ships. I would really like to do a video, because like that's the problem. The reason why I don't do work in progress videos very often is because of how much they can change, and how that basically negates whatever work I've done on that video. Because if it comes out and then like 3 days later there's like, oh yeah, we changed this ship, and it goes into, you know, effect immediately, well then what's the point of the ship? Or not the ship, sorry. What's the point of the video? It doesn't really, that doesn't help me, and it doesn't help you guys, because now, like, you know, some changes will be small and that's fine, that doesn't really negate the video, but some other changes can be very significant, and that's obviously problematic when we're talking about putting hours of work into a single video and then putting it up and then having it be more or less wrong within a day or two. So, by the way, at this point, I'm just recognizing I'm way too broadside to the New Mexico, and definitely take more damage there than I should. That was very close to being a huge misplay on my end. Now, the Richelieu here takes a shot. Luckily, I don't have any of my turrets disabled, and if I had my A turret on that shot, I really wish I would have. I guarantee I would have been able to destroy one of his turrets, but we had 2 pens on his either A or B turret, and he's coming around. This is one of the problems that I have with this ship. Alright, awesome. So that was great, and the Richelieu absolutely had a shot ready to go there. There's no way that he wasn't, like, he couldn't have been more than like a second away from taking the shot there, right? And that's my highest damage game, by the way, in the Lenin now. Yay. The camera, if you go back and take a look when you zoom in to, when you go into artillery zoom, sorry, and then scroll out, you have this weird position with the Lenin's turrets where you see from somewhere between the B and C turret, or like somewhere between the A and B turret, but you never really get the chance to change the view like you would with other battleships that have, you know, their turrets placed across the ship. So if you hit C, you can switch between, you know, the A, the B, the C, the D turret, whatever the case is, and the same applies to the torpedo launchers as well. And that's a huge thing when you're going in with a ship and you're trying to brawl, because you need that front turret to be able to give you the earliest opportunity of, like, the earliest indication of when to fire, right? So that is something that I've been screwed by on the Lenin, and it's something that is really frustrating for me, because I need to see the A turret's perspective, and because from where you have the camera located on that ship in order to you know, take the shot and everything, you already have your citadel exposed, and if you're able to see from the A turret, that would minimize that a fair bit. So just food for thought. Now this is a actually, holy shit, this is from January 23rd. That's when I recorded this one. This is my best Harugumo match. I'm going to spoil that for you in terms of just outright damage, and it's actually my highest damage destroyer match, period. I make a lot of mistakes in this match, and this is one of the most butt-clenching matches I've ever seen in this game. And actually, the other one that I can think of happened on this map as well. I generally do like this map too. Just the the quality of the matches generally is going to be all over the place, but you'll see that the shell tracers are a bit different from the most recent clips. So these are, I think, the Butterkex ones. I can't remember. I think it is Butterkex shell tracers, but anyhow, the Harugumo is disgusting, and this is another ship that I really don't think should be in the game as it is, at least not with the 100mm dispersion, or I'm sorry, not dispersion, but the penetration buff that it got. Completely ridiculous. I also have really shitty luck with stuff like that, so that's cool. So at this point, you can understand that I'm a little frustrated. But no, the Harugumo is just it's way too much. This is like one of the best examples of power creep in this game, and of course now that I really start focusing my attention on Zhao, that's when he comes back to the game after 8 minutes of being AFK, so, or just, you know, disconnected or crashed or whatever it is. So that seems to always happen whenever there's an AFK. Again, I'm just not playing this very well at all. I mean, why I'm going backwards right now, I know why, because of all the other threats that are over there to my right. But this is still a shitty situation. At the very least, I could have gone in towards him, maybe, and, you know, try to minimize my profile, while hopefully the rest of my team was able to get some hits on him. And I barely dodged his torps that, of course, he sent. So, I got lucky, and it was a bunch of misplays on my end, of course. Now I'm trying to kind of corral these guys and make sure they're kind of funneled in at sea, and of course I want to do that in order to make sure that if we get the chance to launch torps, we can certainly do some more damage with them, be more effective with them. And the Harugumo can do something like this and just pester the hell out of somebody, because do you think that Kronstadt wants to come over here, or like one of the battleships want to come over here? Hell no. The last thing they want to do is be dealing with a Harugumo just lighting him on fire. I mean, it's really a psychological warfare type of ship, and you know, much the same way that the Colbert, the Smolensk is, it frustrates you into making mistakes, and you know, the longer you don't address it, the worse it's going to be for you and your teammates as well. And that's part of the reason why this and the aforementioned ships really should just be taken out. I mean, this is ridiculous, and I got really lucky on that as well. Because I swear to God, whenever I'm playing the Harugumo, I get penned like crazy by battleships. Doesn't matter, like, you know, what the situation is, but when I'm facing a Harugumo, I don't get that lucky. So, but yeah, get luck in different ways, I guess. So I guess I can't really complain too much about that, but it is what it is, and it's just RNG. So, got the Moskva going down here. There we go. And this is a situation where we're up about 400 points. We've got these guys where we kind of want them, sort of thing, and things are looking pretty good. Yeah. Well, it's Warships, and that's how, you know, it may seem at one point, but you know, a minute later it might be an entirely different situation. So now we're up 350 something points. I'm pretty sure we did lose a ship between this and the last clip, but just trying to get these guys on fire, make them burn through their DCP, their heals, just keep them off kilter and keep their cooldowns going on, so they're never comfortable. And unfortunately, take another hit there, 2,000, almost 2,100 damage, so that sucks. But now we've got a Yamato coming in. There's another fire, cool. So the damage is ticking away. We're about at 138,000 damage now, and actually it looks like everybody has hit their DCP, which is good. That's what we want. We can't shoot them anyways. We go ahead and have that fire to have them remember us by, and now comes the big, nasty, scary boy, the Missouri. Definitely not what I want to be dealing with out here. I do have 2 smokes, and we got another fire on him, and the speed boost. But still, any damage I take at this point is critical. At any point in the match, it's critical, but he catches me right there. Lucky again. Alright, so secondaries do a little bit on me as well. We got the torps going out. Looks like the Yamato's just creeping into that. That's cool. I'm down for that. We did lose another ship, by the way, so we're down to about 200 points lead, and now the Yamato has a couple floods going on. Time to start lighting him up with the guns. See if we could do the same on the Missouri. Just, again, trying to make sure that these guys are constantly using their consumables and they're constantly uncomfortable, and reassessing the situation as far as like, oh shit, am I able to push this? Am I able to do what I want here? And look at that, my god. I mean, the funny thing is, I play my light cruisers pretty much the same way as well, right? But you'll see more of that in the upcoming videos here. But yeah, high caliber, we're over 211,000 damage now. And this Yamato's pushing, man. We got 40 seconds till our next torps, and there's the Missouri. Switch back over to him. We get Witherer. Looks like they are hell-bent on clearing out our guys that are just to my right here. So, switch targets again. This is fucking ridiculous. So, switch targets again. I'm gonna just try to get at least one more fire going on here for the... actually, I can't really tell what battleship that is, but switch back over to Yamato. I figure I'm probably dead at this point, so there we go. Missouri's down. That's awesome. And got another fire going on him. Like, am I going to be able to get this off? We got point... there we go! And got a fire on him. More fire. Come on. We need more fire. Okay, we're dead. Well, now it's just up to one little Z52. Or actually a Z46. We got the torps going. I'm hoping that he's turning out or something and just going to take them all. But he takes one. So 265,000 damage. Alright. And at this point, I'm freaking out. I'm like, holy shit, please. Please win this game. So I am just distraught because if you look at the time in the top right, there's no time left. He's got to get these torps off, and he's got to do it now, because if he takes any big damage, the secondaries are going to tear him up. But he sends the torps off, and he's just sitting there making sure that this Yamato is on fire, taking some more damage, because these torps are notorious. But booyah! He gets the torp, and at the last second gets the win. Holy shit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why I always say to focus down destroyers as soon as possible. 22 frickin' fires, though. 794 hits. My god. That's ridiculous. And the ship is ridiculous. But awesome job to Civiz there, who helped secure that. Well, he secured the victory. But thank you for watching today, guys. I will see you back here next time. Take care.